Hi everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here. This time reviewing on How to Train Your Dragon 2. Now, How to Train Your Dragon 2 is a 2014 computer animated action fantasy film that is going to be a sequel to the 2010 film How to Train Your Dragon. Now, I remember seeing posters for this, kind of ads, and I never really watched it when I was at my second college, and this was sometime before starting my YouTube career in 2015. So I decided to finally get the Blu-ray copy from a charity shop, and after watching through the second one, it's not a bad sequel, but at the same time, it still works as one. So it pretty much takes place 5 years after the events of the first film, where we do see the characters a little older, and at the same time, we do see how dragons and the Vikings, the villagers of Berk, live side by side in peace. We do see how Hiccup wants to learn about what other dragons there are out there, and of course, we do learn how a dangerous warlord known as Drago plans to take over the world with a dragon army, and this kind of leads Hiccup and Astrid trying to set things right, and Hiccup believing Drago can be talked with despite Hiccup's father's protest. And I think this is where you can tell Hiccup wants to believe Drago can be talked with, but at the same time it's clear he's too far gone. And I think this works in real life, where you can believe someone can be talked with even though they're too far gone. And at the same time, we do see how Hiccup ends up meeting his mother, who is basically been looking after dragons in a dragon-like refuge. And this is where we do see how Hiccup and his mum comes side by side, and kind of seeing that they're both exactly the same. And I kind of feel the mum in the film does work, as I kind of feel Velka is meant to be a counterpart to Drago. Like, she's a bit more open. She does see that there can be peace. And I kind of feel her character works, but I think at the same time, I think it would have been better if Hiccup had an uncle who was against Hiccup's father's ways of dealing with the dragons, and him learning and seeing to his amazement what the dragons could offer, which I think could have worked. But I kind of think Velka does work as a character. And I think at the same time, when you do have Hiccup's dad and his mum reuniting, it's a really heartfelt and really deep moment. And I think at the same time, we do kind of see how even Hiccup has to realise that there are people like Drago who are too far gone, and the fact that new dangers and new evils will arise, as sometimes peace can never last, and new threats and problems will always come. And I think How to Train Your Dragon 2 really leaves that message working, because sometimes ending one war means that a new one will come, and new threats and new dangers will always come and rise. And I think at the same time, I think the film taking place 5 years does work, as you can kind of tell the characters are a little older, more mature now, but at the same time still having the same personalities, only a little more matured. And I think, to me, is that How to Train Your Dragon 2 really does work as a film. There's new dragons to see, new alphas, new kind of tests, struggles, and everything else. So I think this film definitely deserves a thumbs in the middle. I think it's alright as a sequel, but it still works as one. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.